Lo vendo, buenas noches. Muy buenas a todos, soy Mariatxi, bienvenidos a un nuevo juego, bienvenidos a un nuevo indie. Bueno, vamos a probar y vamos a ver si continuamos, pero vamos a darle cañita a este Kotar, ¿vale? Estamos ante otra aventura gráfica, point and click, pero esto con un poco de terror psicológico. Y bueno, tiene reseñas variadas. Salió el 28 de octubre. Gracias a la desarrolladora que me ha enviado una clave. 25 euritos, está en castellano. Y bueno, pues a la gente que le ha gustado, pues habla muy bien de ella. Hicimos una aquí negativa. Se quedó un poco medio gasto, unas dos primeras personas serían muy interesantes que poco a poco comienza a diluirse y acaban mezclándolos en un final bastante abrupto y difícil de comprender. Vamos, que está guapo, pero que no lo ha entendido lo que nos va a pasar a nosotros. Tengo de recomendado. Aventura point and click, madura, seria. Simplemente brillante. Bueno, pues vamos a probar, ¿no? Saquemos nuestras propias conclusiones de este Kotar. Bueno, opciones. Bueno, esto es para cómo jugar, sonido, que yo creo que está bien. No sé, ya me diréis si se oye o no se oye. Resolución, me imagino que habrá un montón de resoluciones. Pantalla completa, brillo, bueno. Venga, comenzamos.
Father, please don't leave. It's dark. The witch could be hiding in here.
Buenas noches.
Don't do this. I'm sorry if I have sinned. I didn't mean to, please.
Mueve el cursor con el ratón en el stick izquierdo del mundo. Haz clic con el botón izquierdo del ratón en el botón inferior del mundo para mover el personaje. Haz clic con el botón derecho del ratón o pulsar el botón izquierdo para saltar los objetos interactivos. Un carajo, pero un carajo.
My old nightstand. Mother said they threw it away. There's a matchbox inside the drawer.
El botón inferior del mando, caja de cerillas. ¿Dónde está la caja de cerillas, macho?
I can now try to light up the room.
Venga, ilumina.
Where are you?
Mother, I'm in the basement.
For God's sake, you'll get seen in that place. Get out immediately.
I'm still waiting to hear the prayers, son. What are you waiting for?
You put him there? Why would you do that, Joseph?
It's his behavior that did that to him.
It was good all day. He helped me with the weeds and the food and...
And he talked to a kid at the funeral.
When did this happen? I didn't see him.
Of course you didn't. Because you don't care of this fact. I should lock you all downstairs. You all need to learn.
Soy súper. Es el platinador. Ahí siguiendo la estela de Camul. Haz clic con el botón izquierdo sobre el retrato del personaje. O ve ayuda en el menú principal para ver cuál es la teoría de acción rápida para abrir el inventario. Haz clic con el botón derecho del ratón o pulsar la tía derecha del mando para examinar la caja de cerillas. Izquierdo del ratón para seleccionar la caja de cerillas y después mueve el fuera de inventario. Haz clic sobre... Joder, macho. La hemos tirado.
Mother has dozens of the same in her room. Each has an engraving with a big scary eye inside a triangle. Help! Mother! Help me!
Dos veces el ratón o pulsar sobre las escaleras para correr. Qué asustado que se lleva el chaval.
Silly, what are you doing? It's me.
Joder, qué cosa más rara.
I'm sorry. I thought you were that witch. How many times do I have to tell you? Witches don't exist. And it's just the two of us here.
Cuéntate de las brujas no existen. ¿Por qué estás
Why
aquí?
are you here? I heard Father talking to himself before going to get you in your room. So I ran here and hid. But why? You know he's going to be very angry at you once he finds out. Because I've promised I wouldn't let you be alone in the dark again. And when I promise something... You never break a promise. I know. I'm glad you were here. You're wrong. Father would never lie to us. About what now? About the witch that cursed our bloodline. He's just trying to scare us with stories so we don't do anything wrong. And today you did wrong, so he punished you by locking you down here in the dark. What did I do? I still don't understand. You talked to that tall boy. Don't you remember? We are not allowed to talk to other people anymore. They are evil. I thought that meant we must avoid adults. How am I supposed to make friends then? Mother said we have each other and God. She's right. I don't think we need anyone else. I can't forget our aunt's white face. Me neither. She looked so different. Her head was so bloated and pallid, and her eyes and hair so dark. The curse did that to her. Don't be ridiculous. She's at peace now. That's all that matters. I hope she is.
No te preocupes, Alina. Déjamela a mí.
Was once such a beautiful woman, full of life.
Pero por si acaso ve viendo el vídeo. No vaya a ser que se me escape algo.
But her fate was nothing more than a Sunday morning rite, and the witch's curse just a fairy tale story.
Un carajo.
Evil is everywhere, my dear children. It is hiding in the shadows of this world. It takes form of animals, and it possesses people.
Father, please forgive.
You should look up to your sister. Unlike you, she values God and this
Vaya usted la ha dado,
family.
¿no?
It's my fault he went to talk to that boy. I ignored him because I was looking into the coffin and I lost sense of time. Ah, I beg you, don't hurt him anymore.
You must learn to be alone with God. You must learn. You all must learn what true faith is.
Joder, vaya somanta de hostias dado así en un momento. Ah, un sueño. Como los serranos.
It was just a dream. I often think about that peculiar day. But I've never relived it so vividly in my dreams. Why now? Why in this place?
Es un concepto nuevo de videojuego. Te vas creando tú tu propia historia. No me despistes, Alina, no me despistes, porque luego me entero. Ya no sé qué ha dicho. Ya no sé qué cojones hay que hacer. Tenemos rosario, pasaporte. ¿Ves? Se ha sacado todo borroso. Ahora busco unas gafas, ¿no? Algo. Pues el tío no ve un pijo. La Biblia, un rosario.
Ah, here they are. Fallen to the floor, but still intact. Thinking of
Joder, mucho mejor. Pensaba que me pasaba algo.
I don't remember going
Me
to
había sentado
sleep
mal la
at
comida.
all. We came in, and then we came in. Victoria and Nikolai went upstairs to prepare for the castle, and then nothing. I must have fainted. I have to talk to Victoria at once.
Coge el farol, coge el farol.
I checked it last night. It's useless. There's not enough oil
Es
inside.
igual, joder, ¿qué más da? Maverick, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estamos? Una pileta ¿para qué?
Is this
Para
meant to
escupir.
represent a basin?
A esa buenita,
Like the
hostia.
entrance of a church? This is blasphemy. That's not holy water for sure. It has a weird smell. Looks disgusting. I'm staying away from it. Those tall, dark trees strike me with dread, even in daylight. It seems like I'm not the only one to have that feeling. The path ends abruptly right at the entrance of the forest. A cold black fireplace that hasn't been used in ages. The same feeling I'm getting from the rest of the house. This woman eerily reminds me of Victoria in her younger days.
Habla con Victoria. ¿Dónde está? Muy bien, joder, así sí. Que te digan qué hay que hacer. Cojonudo. ¿Esto qué es? Ah, es una máquina de coser y un muñeco vudú. Con forma de Alina. Igual se ve un poco oscuro, ¿no? Nikolai.
Nikolai?
Yes, Benedict?
Where's Victoria?
I don't know.
Hala, tampoco.
Do you have the slightest idea why Victoria rented this dreary house?
I don't even know how she found it.
Looks like the owner is some kind of artist. Or is at least convinced to be. Very morbid taste. Strange figures.
I agree. I've never seen so many masks in my life. Especially not placed on walls.
¿Cómo que cabrón?
That's a strange
Por
painting.
favor, cuida esa boca. Vladimir, ¿qué tal? Buenas tardes, buenas noches, ¿cómo
Look
estamos?
at it and tell me what you see.
Why?
Please, do as I say. I'll get to the point.
Codex Niva, Heart of Pagobice, and Dino Tominic. I've never heard of these works.
Coño, qué mala hostia.
Mean eyes at the edge of a wicked soul. That is not a mere shadow. It's a symbol of darkness, of evilness devouring this lost man. A snake-like mouth implies a man who cannot be trusted, at the very least. A yellow blanket, wrinkled only on one side of the bed. A giant bowl made out of clay, filled with what seems to be some type of oil. It's a giant tree with dozens of corpses hanging from its branches, and skulls that feed its roots.
Y véngate ahora.
All I see here is a lonely coat rack. If we don't find a civilized way to get out of here soon, this rack could come in handy to do it by force.
Pues
If we
cógela.
don't find a civilized way to get out of here soon, this rack could come in handy to do it by force.
Nada, no hay que coger. Mira cómo corre. Un, dos. Corre, Bully, corre.
It's locked. Victoria or Nikolai must have found the key and locked it while I was asleep.
¿Qué le pasa a quién? Se acaba de despertar, pero súper. Entonces tiene el sistema parasimpático y el simpático todavía adormecido.
Do you have the key to the house? The door appears to be locked.
I don't know where the key is.
Joder, pues estamos aquí.
I've taken a closer look at the painting.
You don't recognize this man?
I've never seen him before.
And nothing happened to you by looking at him.
Why would anything happen to me?
Last night, after your sister and I came upstairs, She was getting ready for the castle, and I was standing right here, and I wonder, yesterday when we boarded the train, was anyone else in our cabin?
You haven't answered. Why would anything happen to me? What's wrong with this painting?
I don't know yet. Please, just follow me as I go over yesterday's events. I'll get to the point.
Just the three of us.
But once the train left Budapest, wasn't there a man who came in?
By placing the sign, "Do Not Disturb" on our doorknob, I made sure this wouldn't happen. The only time that door opened was when the conductor peered in to tell us we have arrived at our destination.
And when we left the train station, no one was following us? Didn't Victoria notice him?
Notice whom? Your dear wife was over the moon to have finally arrived at Kotar. She couldn't stop talking about the place, but said nothing about anyone following us.
Right. And on our way to the house, we stopped at the square. There was a strange ritual taking place, with a gigantic effigy. What was it like?
And what about the mass of hooded people that gathered there? It was a dreadful scene.
I remember the goosebumps when hearing the crowd pray as one voice, though.
Let me tell you what happened after that. We found the path which led us to this house. What happened when Victoria knocked?
Well, we realized the door was actually ajar.
And the owner wasn't here. Just silence. Dead awful silence. It gave me chills. Once we entered the house, what did you and your wife do?
I said it before. We went upstairs to prepare for the castle exhibition.
Leaving
Venga,
us to
Lina.
wander alone downstairs in complete darkness. You found nothing odd about the house being empty and unlocked?
I did, but Victoria said it's nothing to worry about. So I just followed her.
We never went to the castle?
You don't remember?
The last thing I remember is searching for a light. And then nothing.
What do you mean?
I mean, everything after was only a dream, but I don't even remember going to sleep. Victoria dragged me into this town to make me attend that piddling exhibition in the castle. We never went there, did we? Which means I left the monastery only to spend a horrible night in this house.
We both fell into an inexplicable void.
Sí, lo de la
Something is
gráfica.
terribly wrong here.
Tell me what happened last night. What's wrong with this painting? And where's Victoria?
I'm afraid I don't have the answers. What happened is that while I was waiting for her to get ready, my attention was drawn by this painting. Next moment, I was seeing myself relive yesterday's events, with one difference. The man in the painting was there the whole time.
The whole time?
He was in our cabin, and he was that gigantic effigy the inhabitants set on fire. Shortly afterwards, he emerged from the crowd in human form again, unchanged, and then led us towards the house. Once we got here, he jumped on my back and asked me to carry him upstairs. I was
Cosa más rara, tío.
I felt like a father carrying his own child.
Carrying this being on your back must have some weird symbolic meaning.
He was holding so tightly that I could feel his long and sharp fingernails penetrate my throat. After we finally got upstairs, I was so upset and in pain that I had to throw him off. I quickly turned around to reprimand him and instead saw a human-sized crow with no eyes and a blood-stained beak. It croaked at me and then soared inside the painting. I wanted to run off, but couldn't. I was in shock, too terrified. That was the moment I woke on the bed, fully dressed and disoriented. Victoria wasn't here.
Why did you ask me all those strange questions about yesterday?
I had to separate the dream from the real, as the dream was startlingly real.
Startlingly real, just like my own dream. We should leave this accursed house at once.
After I woke, I noticed Victoria didn't even sleep on this bed. So I went downstairs to check if she was there, perhaps. I found only you, still asleep on the couch, and the door locked. That's when I started to think.
We have to force our way out of here because we don't have the key.
We are guests in this house, and needless to say, men of God. We must leave without doing any damage. I've already searched this floor for a key, and tried to open the balcony door, but it's locked or stuck in some way.
Pues nada, pues no vamos a ir.
What about the windows?
Strangely enough, or maybe for a good reason, they are made in a way that prevents them.
Estamos atrapados.
Stay here and give it a second look. Whatever you can find that could help us. I'm going downstairs to check. Force should be our last resort to leave. Or maybe we get lucky and Victoria comes back in the meantime.
Let's hurry up then.
Just don't look at the man in the painting again. We don't want to risk anything.
Cuando ves en pantalla los retratos de los dos personajes jugables, podrás cambiar al personaje al que controlas. Prueba a cambiar de personaje haciendo clic o pulsando sobre el retrato del personaje más pequeño, el que aparece en gris. O ve ayuda, vale. Ya hemos completado el tutorial, mira que bien. El busto.
Strange piece of art, I must say.
Este mete la mano aquí. Coño, ha cambiado.
It doesn't look inviting, but I think I see something in there.
Antes no tenía ese color. ¿Y este qué le pasa? A coger la percha, a ver si nos deja, que antes no nos dejaba cogerla.
If we don't find a civilized way to get out of here soon, this rack could come in handy to do it by force.
Sí, es una aventura gráfica.
A giant bowl made out of clay, filled with what seems to be some type of oil. It's a giant tree with dozens of corpses hanging from its branches, and skulls that feed its roots. A yellow blanket, wrinkled only on one side of the bed. I need light. I'm pretty sure it's not locked, but rather just stuck. Not sure what's the cause, because both sides of the door are heavily grimed from the outside. It looks like mud. It has a sickly odor. How did it end up on a balcony? If I could push it back with a stick or something similar, I might be able to open the door. It's written in an ancient alphabet, which I don't understand. Could this be the name of the man on the painting? I should stay on this floor and try to find a way out of here.
Joder, macho. Pues como coger la percha. ¿Y por qué la coge ahora?
Forgive me, God, but I must take this.
Esto es lo que no
It'll
entiendo.
fit perfectly under the balcony
Llevamos 3
door.
horas intentando cogerla. Deja de coger al principio y ya está.
I was right. It fits perfectly underneath. Looks like there's mud on the outside. That should be enough to open the door. My God. Nikolai, come upstairs quickly. You must see this.
Coming!
Come closer. Take a look at this.
Oh, God.
Que es un puto cuervo.
All
Es un
crows
cuervo.
look exactly the same to me. But this one seems to be missing its eyes.
Indeed. Just like the one in your dream.
What is this? It looks like a mixture of earth, blood, and
Flesh.
a rotten wooden stick. I don't need it. Have you noticed these marks on the door? They were unnoticeable with the door closed.
I don't think these are just random marks. It's a symbol. And it looks like it was made by sharp fingernails. You understand now why I wanted to leave the moment I saw this house?
Calm down, Benedict.
I am calm, but we both don't remember what happened here, and we both had horrible dreams. And now this. Can you still smell that sickly odor? Don't you see the connection with your dream?
Maybe I opened the door last night and saw the crow's head. It could be the reason why I had that dream.
Doubtful. Something else is at work here. The crow looks like it's been recently decapitated, and the mud is still wet. Don't you wonder who did this? And why?
I can't think clearly in here. I found a key inside the stoop.
The key to the entrance door? Inside the stoop?
I believe so. Haven't tried it yet.
At least I won't have to walk over the devilry on the balcony, and risk an injury by jumping below.
You think Victoria could be responsible?
If it wasn't you, or even me, who else could have done it? The man from the painting?
I knew it. Come on. You really think she's capable of such a thing? What's the matter with you?
She may be my sister, but I don't know her anymore. I do know she's playing with things she doesn't understand.
Things she doesn't understand?
Things no one should understand. The symbol, the decapitated head, blood and flesh.
You mean with occultism?
Witchcraft, I believe. She's playing the role of a witch to play with me, unaware of the consequences that will inevitably come.
My wife is not a saint, but to think she's practicing demonic things is insane. You think she made us forget last night and influenced our dreams?
No, but she's the one who picked this house. Not you, and certainly not me. That was a deliberate choice with a plan.
And what would that plan be?
I think the castle exhibition was just a lure. Her real intention was to drag me into this town to play with my beliefs and fears.
You really don't know her anymore. What happened between the two of you? She doesn't want to tell me.
She became the same person our aunt was. Godless and incredulous about our father's words. Hopefully he's at a place where he found peace, unaware of my sister's thoughts and acts.
The key I found downstairs is probably the key of the main door.
You already revealed your suspicion about the key. Why are you mentioning it again?
If the key is here, where is Victoria?
I don't know and I don't care. She could have locked the door from the inside, left the key, and then jumped from the balcony.
That's my point. It doesn't make any sense. Why would she do that?
I think she found a second key, because no footprints are visible in the mud outside. She didn't jump from the balcony.
Something else must have happened. Let's go outside and make a plan to find Victoria. Our minds are being suffocated in here.
No, I've had enough of talking, and I don't intend to search for her. I'm leaving this town at once.
You can't just leave. She's your sister, for God's sake.
Parece que se la pela a su
Stopped being
hermana.
that a long time ago. Just look around and think about everything we discussed today.
I'll say it again. Something else must have happened. There must be a logical explanation to all of this. Why did you even agree to come here?
Obviously, I wanted to see and feel what it looks like in hell.
I'm not in the mood for joking. Why? She mentioned she had to talk to your superior in the monastery.
And what else could she do? After I declined, the only way to have it her way was to persuade Father Imre. He must have given her his blessings only because of the assignment he had for me. Talk to the local priest about the town. See, there's nothing in the official Vatican archives about Sveti Kotar. And after coming here, I think I know why. Can we go downstairs now? I have a train to catch, and I need to find that priest before then.
I'll accompany you, my brother. It's a small town. We should be able to find Victoria along our way.
Esto no sería para salir de casa. Creo que podremos coger la llave, no sin más.
There's nothing more in there. There's nothing more in there.
¿La ha cogido ya o no? Ah, sí, ya la ha cogido el tío. Me he metido la mano ahí.
It's locked.
Ah, no. Joder, si la tienes aquí, macho, no me jodas. Capaz de meterse en el bolsillo y abrirla.
Before we step outside, you have to promise that once we find your sister, you'll talk to her. There must be no arguments or secrets in this family.
Why do I have a feeling you are not leaving with me?
Can't you reevaluate your decision?
I'm leaving, Nikolai.
We never planned to leave the next day. Didn't she tell you? This house was rented for 3 nights.
She did not. So much about having no secrets between us. Please, leave me alone.
Mal rollo, ¿no? Con la hermana.
Good day, gentlemen.
Good day, sir.
My name is Martin Mostov. I am a detective in the service of the town of Sveti Kotar.
How can we help?
Is there anyone else inside the house?
No one. It's just me and him. Why?
Where's the woman?
The house is empty. What's going on?
We came here looking for a woman, only to find 2 scared men.
And who's the man in your company?
Dr. Erik Hatur.
Doctor? Mr. Hatur, is somebody hurt?
Dr. Hatur is the warden of the asylum. He helps the local police force with his knowledge of the mind.
Not a man of words, Dr. Hatur.
He prefers to keep quiet, just like your friend here.
Are you looking for the owner of the house? Because we don't know where she is.
Hand the key of the house to Mr. Hatur.
Why?
Just do as I say.
Tampoco nos gustaba mucho la casa, ¿no? Igual sí que pasamos una noche solo.
I'm sorry. Did you...
Follow me.
Why?
Yes, I'd like to know as well. Why do we have to follow you?
Orders from above.
How can we trust you to be what you say you are?
What's with the face? You never seen a photo of a man with an intact head? It was taken before the incident.
Uy, pues tiene la cabeza ahí.
Where are you taking us?
Down to the police station where everything will be explained to you.
What prevents you from discussing the matter right here and now?
I'm not in the position to do that. There's a hierarchy I have to respect.
Who is the woman that you seek?
The woman's name is,
Victoria. What for? Why do you need her?
Sir, Everything will be explained to you in this station. Now, if you don't mind, please follow me.
Whatever harrowed you through last night, it'll be nothing compared to what will happen if you do not obey.
Benedict, what do you say?
We have no choice.
All right. We'll do as you say.
Vamos a ver qué pasa, ¿no? Coño, nos han encerrado en la habitación ahí. La habitación del pánico esta. Qué bien.
It's pointless to try. The detective has just closed and locked the door.
Vaya.
First sign of electricity in this town. I guess one could get lost by looking at this mirror for too long. It's so dark that I can't see my own reflection. Anyone on the other side? I have a train to catch. Why am I being held here like some kind of sinner? Can someone tell me what this is about? I think I heard someone. I did nothing wrong, and you have no authority over me. Let me go!
Place all your belongings inside the box. Push it back into the wall once you're done. Don't try to deceive us. We'll know.
O sea, dejarlo todo, ¿no?
I'm not giving my Bible to anyone, even at the cost of being tortured and executed.
Nada, pues todo no. La Biblia no. La Biblia nos la quedamos. Y el pasaporte, tal, estamos detenidos, ¿qué más da? Sensei, ¿qué tal?
I trust you for now, but at the end of the process, you'll be searched thoroughly. Decisions have consequences in this town, little priest. Now, please step into the light so we can begin.
Qué cosa más rara, ¿no, tío?
You seem to obey orders, unlike your brother in the other room. Admirable.
He's just a brother-in-law.
So, Benedict, what a strange surname. Donani?
Dochnani.
Whom do you serve, Benedict Dochnani?
No, no, bro.
I serve only God.
We all do. But you serve him in a different way, don't you, little priest?
I'm a monk among the ranks of the Pauline Order.
Ah, monkhood. A way of life in solitude and silence with God. Many believers say it's the only way to be near our Maker. What can you tell me about that brother of yours, Nikolai Kali Akin?
What time is it, officer?
Time is not relevant in this moment of your life.
I'm under the jurisdiction of the Vatican. You have to let me go.
The church can do nothing for you here. You, like everyone else in this town, answer to me and our patron saint only.
Ángela, pues nada, perfecto.
He is a
¿Cuánto
deacon.
tiempo te costó? ¿Te llevó,
That's
por
not what he
curiosidad?
said to us. Are you trying to lie to me? How could he serve God if he's married to your sister?
He abandoned the path to priesthood to marry her. Deacons are allowed to serve in both houses.
After such a horrible past, God had to make it up to him.
What do you mean?
His orphanage days. The mass grave they found at the orphanage.
What?
You must have heard about the witch nun from Minsk.
Vaguely. I was very young back then.
Your brother was there. He saw all those decaying child corpses in the backyard. It's horrible just thinking about it.
Las 12 horas. Gracias, Ángel.
I know nothing about him and his past.
I think you're just trying to protect him. It's useless. We'll find out everything we want to eventually.
It's the truth. I barely spoke a word to the man before coming here.
Quite an interesting family. Now tell me, what brings the three of you to our little town? It's a long journey from Budapest.
We were invited to attend the exhibition at the castle.
And who invited you?
Nobody invited me. It was my sister who was invited and who made me come along.
You're lying to me. No strangers allowed to get into the castle. Invitations don't exist. Tell me the real reason.
I was dragged here by my sister. What does it matter after all? We never made it there.
Continue obscuring the truth, and you'll end up dragged into Akrizat for eternity. Nikolai is a liar. He's already doomed. But you, I feel you're different. You're not like him. We know your sister was at the castle last night. She was seen by multiple witnesses. Tell me everything I need.
Estándar, ¿qué tal?
Are you sure that was Victoria at the castle? How was that possible? You said strangers are not welcome. Has anyone seen me or Nikolai there? I have to confess that something happened in
Ahora que
the
para
house
me
we
tiene
spent the
intrigada
night.
lo que
I
pasa.
don't know what exactly, but it was Victoria. She did this to me. Officer, can you hear me? Complete nothingness. Let me out! Finally, am I free to leave now?
You both have to come with me. Again.
Why?
Oh, where?
Beyond the wall of crosses. At last, the grandiose Church of Mary. After so many centuries, still here, still holding up against...
What are we doing here?
I'm not at liberty to talk about anything. Now walk. The chief is expecting you.
Do you have any idea why we are here?
No, but I know what this place is. I overheard two officers talking at the station.
I heard the detective say this is the Church of Mary.
The officers referred to it as the Heart of Darkness. Said they've never been here until today.
Judging by the architecture, I'd say the church was built in medieval times. I was told Victoria was seen at the castle last night.
They told me the same, and I don't know what to think. Let's not talk about it here.
Ever heard of the witch nun from Minsk?
I see. So they told you about my orphanage days.
Victoria knows you were an orphan?
Please. I don't want to talk about it.
Did they ask you anything about the house?
No, but I suspect they will. The warden is here, inside the churchyard.
I can't believe this is happening to me. Never mind. All entrapped within heavy iron cages. Someone's in the driver's seat. He looks tense, wildly moving his hands and head as if threatened.
Ah, you made it past the wall of crosses. Through tall trees, unmarked paths, and unnatural, dreadful silence. Into the heart of darkness where you invited us to meet.
What is this place? Why are we here?
This church was built with one purpose only, to repel evil from the Carcassa forest. It failed miserably, and was absorbed by darkness instead.
We invited you?
You have, with your deeds.
I don't understand.
Chief, we'd appreciate it if you could tell us what's going on.
Words are unnecessary. Light always reveals. Lights on, officer. Now, take a good look.
God.
Joder, ¿y eso?
What? Tell us, why are we here?
Lights off! Ranko Merzel, the beloved mayor of Sveti Kotar, hanging up there all alone with a dreaded yellow mask. Underneath the mask, he has nothing left. His face ripped off, his eyes gouged out and eaten. His skull cut open, and parts of his brain eaten. All whilst alive, tortured cruelly by the moon ghouls, or those that want to become one. In the very end, his chest and abdomen were torn and his heart ripped out, to be devoured.
Who are the moon ghouls?
Saborans is their name. Servants of the moon demons. Some people believe they're not humans, but rather evil entities that take human form. We don't know who they are. They're hiding in the shadows, impossible to find.
His body is still up there. How could you possibly know all these things?
We don't have to pull him down to know what happened. We've seen this too many times in our lives.
¿Pero que te recomiende o que te suena un juego y quieres que descubrir el título? Joder, no lo sé. ¿Pero una buena aventura gráfica? Sí, me lo han mandado, sí. Sin embargo, hasta el día 15.
This is a horrific crime scene. We shouldn't be here.
Is this the way you welcome strangers in your town?
We know the mayor was murdered by Nermin, a man who decided to worship the moon deities. The past teaches us we are unable to see the true soul of other people, no matter how close they are.
Sí, lo juego, Ángel.
So you interrogate strangers and tell them of the existence of malicious beings, and in the end you show them their prey?
Nermin didn't feast on the mayor's corpse alone. There was someone else who joined the ritual.
The name Nermin doesn't mean anything to us.
We're here for the first time in our lives, Chief. What do you want from us?
Lies. All lies. Where's Victoria? Or should I call her Petra instead?
What do you mean?
We know she used the name Petra when introducing herself around town.
Our mother's name.
We just don't know where she's hiding, and we need you to tell us.
Hostia, pues no sé, Square ahora mismo.
We don't know. When we woke, she wasn't in the house.
It was our plan to go looking for her, but then your men intercepted us. We don't know where she is.
Why do you think she's hiding?
Do not try to make a fool of me. She was seen pushing a man from the castle roof last night. And when we found his severed head, he wore a yellow mask. We know she helped Nermin. Her scratch pad was found up in the belfry, amongst pieces of human flesh.
If you
want us to search for her, fine. Once we find her, she'll face the same fate as Nermin. They'll beg us to end their lives.
Why would she help Nermin? A complete stranger to her.
The Saborans cult needed a witch among them. Morbidity and the occult fascinate her. She's your sister. You should know that.
This is insane. My wife would never do harm to anyone, let alone
Hombre,
join
tío,
a
muerta mucho
cannibal
de
cult.
no tiene. De coger llaves y abrir y explorar y...
Who was the man she allegedly pushed from the roof?
We're still trying to fish his body parts from the chasm below the castle. Whoever he was, he's just one piece of the puzzle.
How can you be so sure of her guilt? What proof do you have?
We found her belongings in the belfry, and her coat in the woods, not so far from here.
Coat? How do you know it's hers?
A coat, badly damaged, with blood stains. Her wallet and personal ID were inside, but we also found something else next to it. An eviscerated fetus.
My sister was pregnant?
She still is. Don't you understand what they're trying to do here?
Victoria sacrificed her unborn child to the moon demons.
Hostia, están todos tumbados, eh.
No. This is not possible. She would never.
We know she's hiding somewhere, and we know you're lying, which makes you her and Nermin's accomplices. She even tried to make us believe she killed herself after the murders.
An accomplice? I fell asleep the moment we entered that house. I am a man of God. How dare you put such sin on my soul?
I've seen many people say or think they're godly men. That means nothing. Faith is more than mere words.
Why do you think she tried to fake her own death?
There was a suicide note in her coat. Many have taken their own lives in this forest. She thought she could trick us with a message of repentance. Pathetic. You clearly don't have any intention to help us, but we might have means to change your mind.
Chief, do you really think we would be lying? Is my wife really capable of committing such atrocities?
Look around. Can you smell death? Can you sense wickedness? Of course I believe that. This is a cursed land. And I don't know who you are, and I don't trust you. None of you. Take them away. Make them talk.
Gentlemen, you know how this works. Follow me.
Why have we stopped, Detective?
Someone needs to help you out. I'm letting you go.
All of a sudden you want to help us? Why?
Your sister came here to join a madman? She chose this town to fulfill her occult desires? And you're helping her to hide. That's insane. Maybe she got kidnapped by Nermin and... I don't know. You must find her as quickly as possible.
Chief Noren will be furious with you.
I never lied to him. Or at least it's what he thinks. He won't question my decision to let you leave. But you have to give me your word you won't leave town. We have your passports, but one can always find a way out if he wants to.
We promise.
I wouldn't question a word from two priests.
I promise.
Start your search with the warden.
Dr. Hatur?
I was with him last night before the incident at the castle. He was already looking for Victoria.
Before the incident? Are you sure?
My head injury sometimes makes me have memory lapses, but you don't have to question my intelligence.
I'm sorry, but I knew it. The moment I saw that man, I knew there was something creepy about him.
I don't know how, but he might be somehow connected with her disappearance.
Venga, Ari, descansa.
Could he be found at a mental hospital?
Oh no. You can't possibly
Pronto te vas.
get him out of asylum. It's off limits for non-staff or non-inmates. The doctor resides at the only lodge in this town, the Goldine Lodge. That's where you should go first.
Where's this lodge located?
From here, go down towards the lake. Once you reach the shore, go left. You can't miss it.
Why did he stay at the house while we were being
Vaya.
interrogated?
He wanted to make sure Victoria wasn't there, but to tell you the truth,
Venga,
I
descansa.
think he had other reasons. I'm not sure.
What time is it?
I don't know, but it's getting late and you should act. Immediately.
The train is about to leave soon. Could you give me my belongings back?
That I cannot do. I'm sorry.
We have to go now.
A few words of advice before we part ways. There is a reason why this town looks desolate, even in broad daylight. Don't get yourself fooled by the lights you see here. This soil is cursed, and the air tainted with wickedness. I know you can sense it. It's the opposite of what you're used to. Be wary while wandering around. Under no circumstances you should go into the forest or onto the mountain. They are forbidden. Stick to the town. The moon ghouls are impossible to find, except for when it's too late for oneself. God bless you all. I hope you find salvation in spite of the horror all around you.
We have to split, Benedict. I'm going to the lodge. You should go back to the house, in case Victoria comes back.
I don't know my sister anymore. She became a person I've dreaded my whole life. She's a devil worshiper, a murderer, a person acting against God. Who is she? How could she change so much?
Since when do you trust other people? They are lying, Benedict. Victoria is innocent.
Did she drag me here to sacrifice me? Like she did with her unborn child?
Hey, she did not do that. Our child is not dead. The chief is lying. Before this journey, when was the last time you saw her?
A couple of years ago, I guess.
I see and talk to her every waking hour since we married. People don't change that much. She's a good person.
They don't change. They just strip the facade and show their true self. If they are lying, how do you explain her scratch pad in the belfry?
I don't know.
And what about her coat? Or the fact that she used my mother's name to introduce herself?
We should ask if this is true. The only person she spoke to after arriving here is the lady from the souvenir shop over there.
Don't forget, she was seen pushing a man from the castle's roof by multiple witnesses.
Maybe she was assaulted. We don't know who that man is, and what really happened last night. If we don't succeed in finding her soon, going to the castle is something we should consider. And this is partly on us. If we weren't so weak, we wouldn't have been drowned into a nightmarish cycle of dreams. Just look around you. It's already night, for God's sake.
I've noticed. It means we slept for more than half a day.
Even when dead tired, one can never sleep that much. It's unnatural. The house definitely did this. Because we were weak.
It's my fault? It was her idea to make me come here, and she picked that damned house. How do you explain the balcony horror?
You're right. I'm sorry. I don't know how to explain many things. I'm just trying to find a meaning in all this madness. We should move, brother. She might already be back at the house. Or in danger at the hands of that warden.
No. I'm leaving.
You what?
I'm leaving. Going back to Budapest.
You won't make it past the border. You don't have your passport.
I'll be fine. Given the circumstances, Father Imre will understand why I didn't talk to the priest of Sveti Kotar.
But he will
Ahora, rico colocado.
if you leave your sister here.
I don't care about Victoria and what she got into. God will be her judge.
God will condemn you for leaving your sister to die here. Open your eyes! She's the only real family you have.
My family died the day my father left us. I'm with God alone now.
If you leave, you will pursue your own selfish desires, not his will and words.
Venga, Ángel, descansa. Muchas gracias por eso. Cuídate.
You need to stay here and help me find her in the name of faith.
You think she might be back at the house?
Could be. It's the only place where she knows we might be. Are you going to help me?
I'm going to the house, and if she's there, I'm leaving at once.
You both wait on me, but stay out of the house and hide somewhere outside. The warden or the police might come back. I'm going to the lodge. Be careful.
Esta es, iba a decir la señora de la tienda, pero no tiene pinta de señora.
Not quite sure if it's a stylistic choice. The emerging faces are pretty ugly and creepy. An old woman with white hair, white dress, and big white teeth. She's doing her best to look happy. It's missing an eye. The man who did this and put it on display here is a brainless, primitive psychopath. It's just a mock-up of a strange tree with small red leaves and branches pointing skyward. I'm not a thief. Slips of paper have been squeezed in the fissures between the bricks. I'm curious. I'll read one. Voices now carry, shadows take form. Oh God, have mercy on me, for I fear the thing that possesses me. A wall of laments? Inside a tavern? Take my son and husband, just make my agony go away. Forgive me.
Paso de todo por culo. A no ser que sea fundamental para la historia. El muro de las lamentaciones,
Excuse me.
What do you want?
Remember me?
Should I?
From last night? My sister and brother-in-law were with me.
I'm not a visual man. I don't remember faces. They dissolve into fog pretty fast.
So you don't remember my sister, Victoria? The two of you talked last night.
Victoria, you say? I remember her glasses and name.
Did you see her today?
No. You've lost her?
She lost herself, and we cannot find her.
Keep looking and seek help from God. Or ask someone who thinks to be one.
And who would be that fool?
Fool? Funny you say that, because that's how I call him too. My cousin Norin.
The chief of police is your cousin?
Dominic Norin, the feared and respected law of the valley of Kotar.
I've had a chance to talk with him already. He doesn't seem to know where Victoria is.
That means nothing. He's either lying or you're a fool as much as he is. Was there anyone else when he talked to you?
Yes.
He likes that. He likes to be on the stage, in front of a crowd.
If I decide to talk to him, where should I go?
You'll find him in his office at the police station. It's where he eats, sleeps, and fulfills his needs. Talk to him alone. He's more vulnerable without a crowd. Walk into the police station. His office is the door on the left. Just knock and tell him Davor Gorski has sent you.
All right.
He won't care, so you'll have to give him a good reason to let you in. Luckily, that reason is in front of your eyes.
You? I don't understand.
A gift. The cleaver. Right in front of you.
A cleaver will make him change his mind? Is this a joke?
No joke. It'll wait for you here for whenever, if ever, you decide to talk to the fool.
Sveti Kotar is a small town. Where do strangers go when they visit? Any particular place I should know of?
Ah, glad you're asking. I got many recommendations. You should definitely venture into the Carcassa forest. Its trees are magical this time of year. Then don't miss out on the greatest view of the valley. Climb to the top of the Udav mountain and enjoy the breathtaking sight. Lastly, take a diving course at the Lake Hali. I mean, forget about people. Don't ask anyone. Just dive. Just do it yourself and enjoy the rich underwater life. Your soul will be grateful. Grateful beyond imagination if you dip your toes in the spring of the Henna River.
I feel like you're mocking me.
I am.
What was that huge, horrible thing that was set on fire last night?
Tradition. This town has a history of blaming everyone except God.
God is never to be blamed. He has his own ways of...
Blah, blah, blah. I heard it 1,000 times before. People around here blame strangers, good spirits, demons, witches, and even the Vatican. Everyone else except the one they idolize.
The Vatican?
Crazy thing for a Catholic town, isn't it?
But why? And why do you say they should blame God?
Look around you. Talk to people. Stay long enough and you'll understand.
Tell me about the moon ghouls.
They will eat your soul and feast over your flesh.
You know who they are?
A cannibal tribe that follow the moon demons. The moon is the key.
In what way?
I already said too much. Seek more knowledge elsewhere.
Are you a taxidermist?
A what?
Do you prepare dead animals for fun?
I enjoy slaughtering them. I love my job.
So you are a butcher?
I prefer slaughterman. Why? What's this all about?
I was asking myself about that poor pig and its head displayed as a trophy.
You have a problem with that?
It's missing an eye, and
And?
I believe it's a mortal sin to torture defenseless animals.
You know why? Because you are one of them. Like a sheep who follows words and moral codes. You feel endangered, vulnerable, and mortal.
It's actually the other way. I feel...
You don't feel bad or sorry or sad for that pig. You're terrified because you see your own head on that wall.
It's pointless to argue with this man. I have better things to do.
Nothing to say. Good.
What's the story of the bricked-up window you have here?
Human rats kept breaking in and stealing from me. The alley's pretty dark at night, so it was perfect for them. I couldn't find out who they were, so I decided to poison the food. It worked. It was all right for a while. But then the break-ins started again, and I said no more. Walls always work. They divide the sane from the mentally ill, and the rich from the poor. We need walls.
Thank you for the background story, sir, but I meant what's the story behind the slips of paper in the wall?
Of course you meant that. What else would you be interested in after all? I keep them because they amuse me.
How so?
I laugh at how weak and pathetic my fellow townsfolk are. They bring me lots of joy, especially the ones talking to God.
You have a problem with faith?
Do I look like a sheep to you?
This is a madman. No, you do not.
Right answer, priest. Right answer.
I'm not a priest.
I'm not a fool.
Excuse me.
O sea, con el hacha que nos dejará, ¿no?
I'm not a thief.
Pues no nos deja.
Am I really going to take it?
Good. Very good, priest. Now go. Walk bravely into the Temple of Law. You're bringing a gift.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Se va a liar un poco, ¿no? Siento con el machete ese. Pero bueno. A ver, ¿qué más tenemos que hacer?
Souvenirnica Lavenjak. Ah, the drawing makes perfect sense. Lav in Croatian should mean lion. Tiny chairs of torture and bells. I must say they are faithfully recreated to the smallest detail. It evokes a repulsive feeling, and I guess that is its purpose, but I'm not sure it's something God would approve of, no matter the cause. Statues and death masks of Ivan Kotar, and some small-sized replicas of the torture wheel. They look so awkward and unnatural, as if made by someone who never saw them living. Weird executioner masks. They genuinely look old. A strange, tiny-sized tree with red leaves. Growing out of a head vase makes it even stranger, if not morbid. Madam?
Do I look like a madam to you?
Well...
You're going to make me blush, sir. Welcome to my little hut. My name's Ida. Ida Lavnjak.
I already know your name.
How? Do I know you?
Not really, but you know my sister. I was with her last night.
Oh, yes, I remember now. The shy and anxious older brother, Benedict. Or should I say, monk Benedict.
She said that?
No, sir. It's just the way you looked. Why didn't you come closer when we called you?
Her eyes focused somewhere behind me, with a weary and terrified gaze.
It's alright, you don't have to answer. Where's Victoria?
I don't know. I was hoping you could help me. Have you seen her today?
No, I don't think so.
Last night, did she come back after we left the square?
There were a lot of people here long after that, and I was preparing to close, so I really couldn't say. What's going on?
She disappeared.
Oh no, not her, not again. I hope she's not another victim of the moon.
She was seen pushing a man from the castle's roof last night.
I heard about that accident this morning. She did that. She really pushed that man.
Eyewitnesses saw her.
Liars. Who are these people?
Does it really matter?
You believe their story? You really think she did it?
You've heard about the mayor.
Heard what?
They found his body in the forest.
What? Who told you that?
The police forced me to see it. The body was hanged from the belfry of the Church of Mary. Mutilated, disemboweled, and half-eaten by the crows.
Those animals. I'm sorry you had to see that. Poor mayor. I'll light up a candle for him today.
What can you tell me about Nedman?
Never seen him, but have heard and retold many stories about him. What do you want to know?
It's a small town. How come you've never seen him?
Because he's one of those who lives under the moonlight, while the rest of us do our best to keep away from it.
A moon ghoul?
The worst of them all. I feel lost now. Why are you asking me all these questions? And you didn't answer me. You think your sister pushed that man? You really think she's capable of doing it? I know her very little, but I know those accusations are absurd.
She is capable, and I believe she did it. Listen carefully. Her husband Nikolai and I are now suspects. The police think we are hiding her somewhere, which makes us look like accomplices of Nermin. She did something to keep us stuck in the house. We woke up having no memory of what happened last night. At the same time, she was seen by multiple witnesses pushing a man from the roof. In the vicinity of Merzel's body, they found her coat and other belongings. She was there. She did it. She helped Nermin.
I don't know what to say except that Victoria is a good person. She looks so gentle and vulnerable. Like a butterfly. I refuse to believe these things, but I could be wrong. I'm sorry, Benedict. How can I help?
I don't know. Maybe you can't. Maybe only God can do something. Not even God. She's lost forever. What book are you reading?
The Divine Comedy. I needed something to cheer me up.
So where's Dante now?
Who?
Dante, the hero of the book? In what part of the book are you now?
Oh yes, how silly of me. He's in a dark forest and there are beasts he cannot evade. I think they symbolize something else.
Sins. The beasts represent the self-indulgent, the violent, and the malicious.
Oh, that's interesting. You know, the book intrigued me because the descriptions of where he is in the beginning reminded me of this valley. Does that make sense to you? I told this to my father and he scolded me right away.
You are quite right, madam.
Now all we need is our Virgil to rescue us.
Where should I look for Victoria? She won't come out in the open. It would be too risky.
Well, if I were you, I'd start my search in the forest.
In Carcassa?
Udav Mountain could be a good place to start too. But I've never been there, so I can't give guidance.
Carcassa and Udav are forbidden places, aren't they?
I don't believe what they say about them. The forest is a beautiful place. The tall trees, Pepel, the river spring and the silence.
Buenas.
Listen,
Welcome.
Search the forest. Make sure not to get caught while entering, and keep your eyes open once inside. You'll be fine.
Who decided to forbid these places?
Ironically, the same man that was found dead in the heart of the forest, Mayor Rancomerce.
You think his death had something to do with the decision?
No, I don't know. The proof of fate is a decree that he put in place soon after taking control of the town.
Un poco
It's a
lento el
decree
juego.
that compels people to stay away from the places on the list.
La historia es
and to
curiosa,
report
pero
suspicious activities and misbehavior.
Such as?
Blasphemous and heretical talk, to name a few. But the decree's main objective is to find and execute those against or unfaithful to God.
She sounds like she doesn't approve of this.
I guess it's a good thing. I don't know.
You don't adhere to the law.
Not in this case, at least not entirely. You know. And please don't say this to anyone, or you'll have me tortured and killed, all right?
Go on. I promise.
joder, como la gasta este
Carcasa
pueblo.
has been like my second home in the last few years. I can't get enough of its silence. I know what you are going to say. It's dangerous, dark, and forbidden. But listen to me. Sometimes it gets dangerous, true. And the mayor's death proves it. But isn't that normal? It's life. It's people.
It's life. Everything here feels rotten and reeks of death.
Don't say that. And don't talk to others this way. If we stop dreaming and lose hope, what do we have left? Look, I don't know if you should go into the forest. I don't want to get you in trouble or killed. I have no idea where you should look, really. I'm sorry. Oh, wait, I have something here. It might not tell you where to go, but at least give you some orientation.
Ah, un puto mapa.
A map of the town and its surroundings.
Muy bien.
How does that sound?
Sure. Thank you.
Glad I could do something. Just be careful.
How come you weren't dressed as a priest last night?
That question.
Excuse me?
Oh, sorry, nothing against you. But it's the same annoying question that keeps coming back at me, like a bat flapping in circles, year after year. I see October 28th on the calendar, and I know what's coming to bite me.
So what's the reason?
I tell everyone I can't wear it because I have to work. But the truth is, I don't believe it will make a difference if I did. In general, the ritual doesn't make a difference.
¡Hostia! ¡Vamos, Katie! ¡Qué puto susto! ¡Madre Dios, qué puto! Casi me quedo sordo, joder. Esto es cool.
Why does everyone else?
Muchas gracias.
Because the inhabitants believe we are all disciples of Ivan Kotar, and so we have to dress like them on the day. Not just in the evening when the effigy is set on fire, but all the time, from dawn to dusk.
But what is the reasoning behind it? The dress is just a terrifying shadow of what a priest's robe should look like.
There's a belief that wearing it scares off demons, witches, and other evil spirits. I guess the darker it looks, the scarier it is. I don't know.
The effigy turned into ash last night. What does it represent?
A demon slave of the moon god. The effigy ritual marks the end of the day of Ivan Kotar. People gather on the square, they pray and chant as one voice. Which sounds beautiful. It's the best part. No, it's the only part of the day I love.
I thought the exact opposite. It was a disturbing scene, and I felt true, primal fear.
Then the mayor comes out and everyone stops, and when the last words leave his mouth, the effigy is finally set on fire.
Has anyone been hurt over the years? The fire spreads very quickly, a wide and massive whirl as if ignited from the darkest of places.
No, not that I recall. I don't know. Why?
Yes, and because it could come down at any moment. It's so tall, the nearby buildings could be hit.
Nothing to worry about. God is protecting them. Or at least it's what they believe. Oh, and those who are tasked with creating the effigy are given a free pass into the forest. Can you guess why?
No.
You haven't even tried to guess. Because it's made of black wood, plant roots, and undergrowth from Carcassa. Slaves of the moon god supposedly live or dwell as spirits if they are dead, inside the forest, and so, you know. Some of the townsfolk even swear to hear the wailing of demons the whole night after the fire. I don't know.
Joder, ya era hora, macho.
Excuse me.
Sure.
Vamos a ver qué tenemos que hacer. ¿Dónde estamos? Estamos aquí. Qué guay. Me espera otro tipo de mapa. Esto es lo que prendió fuego ayer. Vale.
Only dust remains of the thing that was set on fire last night. Ivan Kotar. Sanctus Patronus.
Nos quedarían
For some people, this stone is the only hope they have left. Anyone found my legs yet? Beloved wife and mother, Melita Lavnyak, missing since October 1991 at the entrance of Carcassa. Young Kadia, missing his love since June. Haven, last seen on the last day of February 1993. Anyone found my legs yet? Our beloved priest and friend.
Vamos a entrar a la casa esa que se ve al fondo.
It's barely readable. That must read Sveti Kotar, and that should be the coat of arms of Croatia, the chessboard.
Tenemos estos 2 puntos para irnos. Vamos a esta casa primero, que nos da una pequeña chapa. Aquí no hay más.
White and red squares, a Croatian version of the chessboard. I'm no expert, but I'm pretty confident this is a 15th century map of Europe. Everything in this town revolves around that troubling period of human history. Asom Tavruli at the top, and the other two are Maleos Maleficarum by Heinrich Kramer, and an unnamed manuscript by Herodotus. What a strange taste for books.
Who is it?
I'd like to ask you some questions.
About what?
Different things. Maybe you could help me?
A stranger.
Could you come out of the room?
No, and I don't want to talk to you. Take a look at my inventory. Read some books. Do whatever you want. I don't care about those knockoffs. And take a sample of the town's map from the desk. That way you can't say I didn't help you.
But I...
Stop talking. I want silence.
I don't need it. I already have one.
¿Está? ¿Estamos los cojones o qué?
I'm not a pest. The owner said she wants to be left alone.
No le podemos tocar los cojones. Pero que usted no lo puede llevar. Pero no hay nada más, ¿no? Ahora vámonos. Es donde va cada sitio. Aquí no
It
hay.
leads towards the bridge to the police station. I'm not going in that direction now.
Pues ahí no. Nos quedan este y este. Esta es la casa, ¿no?
I wasn't sure I heard a voice, but I did. Victoria is here. It's dark, and my eyes could be deceiving me, but that doesn't seem to be...
Who goes there? I'm Lucia, the owner of this house.
I apologize, miss. I'm Benedict. Victoria is my sister.
Who's Victoria?
Repostera, buenas noches.
Rough day. Sorry. I meant Petra. Petra is my sister.
I didn't know she had a brother and that he was coming with her to Sveti Kotar.
Nobody knew. It was a last-minute decision.
So where is she now?
We're trying to find her.
We? Who is we? Are there more people I don't know about?
Her husband, Nikolai, came as well.
I was told she was to come alone on Friday, October 28th. Rented the house for the 3 nights. Said she wants to give herself a gift for the soul. A strange woman, I tell you that. Something happened?
Nothing in particular. We woke up and she was gone.
She's probably sightseeing. One can easily get lost in the beauty of the place, lose track of time.
What happened here?
I didn't want to yell at you, but since you're asking, you tell me. I almost fainted of sorrow after opening the door. Look at my bust, reduced to pieces. Somebody has to pay for the damage. Animals.
You'll have to ask the warden to pay for that. We left the house untouched.
The warden? What warden? Dr. Hatur?
Yes, Dr. Hatur.
But I
Una
did
aventura un
nothing
poco
wrong. Why
raruna.
would he come to my house? Was he looking for me?
I don't know. He didn't tell us the reason and we couldn't argue. A detective was with him.
Maybe they saw my art as blasphemous and heretical. Maybe they'll take me into the asylum. That's why he destroyed the bust and the stoop. He was sending a message. I'm doomed.
He won't take further action.
What do you mean? He was here for me.
Why would he cause this damage without taking you in? It doesn't make sense.
You think?
This looks like he was just giving a warning. Maybe because of something else you did.
I don't know what I did, but I can live with a warning. I'll try to be more careful from now on. Thank you, my friend.
Weren't you supposed to welcome us last night?
Es una aventura gráfica, sí.
Sister, I'll leave the key at the neighbors, and that I'll pass by later, after the castle.
You were at the castle?
Sure.
Did you see me there?
I was there only for a brief time. Couldn't stand all those people. But how could I see you when everyone has to wear... Wait a minute. Did you go inside without a mask?
No, of course not. Was she here after you came by?
I didn't make it. This right here is me visiting after the castle. You are a strange person. No wonder you two are relatives. Why are you asking all these questions?
Because she stayed in the house and fell asleep, and when I came back I couldn't find her. I don't know her whereabouts since last night.
You know, if you don't trust her, you should just talk to her. But if you already did, then my only advice is to talk to Madame Vera, my neighbor. She may be old, but she never misses a thing, always lurking from that window.
La abuela del visillo es.
I can do that.
If you just knock, she will pretend to be dead. She doesn't like strangers. You must introduce yourself to her. Say exactly who you are and why you're looking to talk to her. Tell the truth. I heard that she had some sort of visions of the life of Ivan Kotar, the patron saint of the town. It's what allowed her to sneak into other people's houses as a babysitter.
I'll try to talk to her.
And do not go knocking on the door. She hates that.
Have you had any strange dreams in this house?
Whenever I don't have guests, I sleep here, and guests are as rare as the sun in this town. My dreams are always great. Why?
It's just that both Nikolai and I had a rough night's sleep with harrowing dreams.
That must have been the demon of tiredness, not the house. You had a long drive yesterday.
We opened the balcony door and found a strange mass.
So it was you who broke the glass on the door?
No, I just opened it, I promise.
Maybe those bloody crows did it. Wouldn't be the first time. It started recently. They come to the balcony, raking in mud, small twigs and other crow filth. I tried to scare them off, but nothing is working. And they are very aggressive. I can't light a candle anymore. Whenever I do, they swarm outside and start scratching at the windows and door. The balcony is where they gather and ultimately die. It's like their graveyard or something. I can't explain it. If they don't back off soon, I'll have to start taking action. I don't want my guests to feel threatened.
Do you mind if I look around the house a bit?
Not at all. You are allowed to stay here for 2 more nights. Unless you want to pay to stay longer, of course.
That is something you should discuss with my sister. The blasphemous basin is destroyed. I approve of the act. Hideous. It's full of dead crows. Dozens and dozens of them.
A ver, la abuela del visillo.
I don't need it. This woman eerily reminds me of Victoria back when I could rely on her. The fireplace. It's full of dead crows.
I know. I've put them there.
Why?
To get rid of the bodies. Why else? But I am all out of matches. So for now, they just have to lay in the cold. You don't mind, do you?
No, not at all. It's your house.
But you're my guest. It's my duty to make your stay comfortable.
This woman and her house are beyond salvation. Never mind.
Ay, pensaba que tenía las cerillas, no tengo las cerillas. O sea que haré luego cambios de personaje.
For some reason, someone decided to wrap the carpet and put it here. It must have been the warden who did this. What use is there in throwing books on the floor? We left it on the table, with its front side facing the wall. Now it's up again, looking at me with those mean eyes. Everything is as we left it, but the crow's head is missing, and there's broken glass on the floor now. This bookshelf was full of books before. A lot of them are missing now. A giant bowl made out of clay, filled with what seems to be some type of oil. It's a giant tree with dozens of corpses hanging from its branches, and skulls that feed its roots.
Habla con la vecina, con la abuela del visillo.
It's locked. I should wait here for now.
O sea que nada, lo podemos cambiar. ¿Dónde está este?
I couldn't have missed the tallest building out here. This must be the lodge where Hatur resides.
¿Estará Hatur involucrado en la desaparición de Vitoria? Creo que el doctor Hatur está conectado de algún modo con la desaparición de mi esposa. Se aloja en alguna de las habitaciones de la posada. Debería intentar hablar con él, cueste lo que cueste.
Goldine.
No, lo quería cambiar, pero bueno. Si ahora tú estás aquí. Nosotros estamos aquí. Y él está aquí. No, ¿dónde está la bola del visillo, tío? Mira, el botón es sacar y no.
No food in there. Just some tiny crumbs. Not sure about its usage. It simply looks like a hole.
My name is Luca, at your service.
The guest rooms are upstairs, right?
Sir, only the guests who are chosen are allowed to see the rooms.
How can I be chosen?
Sir?
You said I have to be chosen to go upstairs.
Right. I don't know how you can be chosen.
But who's choosing? And why?
Mr. Wild, he's not here at the moment, and I don't know when he will return. Apologies, sir.
I'm looking for Dr. Hatur. I have an appointment with him.
No, you don't.
Excuse me? How would you know that?
The warden takes no visitors here, only in the asylum. And I trust you are well aware you don't want to be a patient of his.
Can you tell me where the doctor's room is?
I don't know where it is.
What do you mean? You are the receptionist here.
I never saw Mr. Godin's room. I only heard about it from Mr. Wild.
I have to speak to Mr. Hatur, not Mr. Goldine.
I know, but like I said, I never saw his room. Dr. Hatur resides in Goldine's former room.
How is it possible that you don't know each and every room in this building? Have you just started working here?
No, sir. I'm working here for quite some time, actually. But I'm not allowed to see Goldine's room, and I don't know where it's located.
How can I find Hatur then?
I don't know.
Is he even in the lodge?
Yes, he is. Look, you should probably ask Mr. Wild about everything you need or want. I'm just a receptionist here.
Where is Mr. Wild?
He's not here.
I know. I can see that. Where can I find him?
You can. He finds you.
Do you have a cat or a dog?
No, we're done.
Then why do you have a ball down there?
That belongs to the king in yellow.
El rey de amarillo. Esto es muy fatal,
That is?
No, sir. I can't tell you who he is. Mr. Wild is the only one who can.
This king in yellow. Cat or dog, whatever it is, could be the key to find Mr. Wild. And if I can get to him, I would be allowed access to Hatur's room. Luca, If you'll excuse me. I wonder, what's the story behind this bricked up passage? I see an executioner talking to small-sized men and women. I think they're about to be slaughtered. Branko Merzel. Natalia Pietrzak. Fran Merzel. Peter Stiebel.
Qué habitación más rara, ¿no?
Ivan Goldin. Jensen Cook.
¿Qué coño es esto, tío?
Lake Kubilius.
La habitación de los bustos, muy bien. A ver si no dice nada.
I'm not allowed to go upstairs.
Joder.
The clock is dead at the stroke of midnight. Can I take this map? Might come in handy while going around this valley.
Why not? Nobody wants it. Nobody needs it. Take it. It's been laying there for centuries.
Tenemos un mapa, bien, bien.
I've already read it several times.
Vamos a ir a la playa, no sé si tiene playa esto. Bueno, embarcadero. Ni tan mal.
Just a boat, floating alone in the fog. It's empty. Hello, youngster. What's your name?
Anton.
Joder, vaya pintas tiene tú.
What are you doing here?
Fishing.
At night?
Sin caña.
Time.
It's dangerous to be out here at night, especially for a child.
Why?
Didn't you hear what happened to your mayor? And what about those moon things?
You mean the moon ghouls? I saw them once here on the lake.
What do they look like? What are they?
Yellow. Their whole body is yellow, except for the faces. They don't have faces. Their faces are shadows.
You were hidden somewhere?
They saw me, but they could do nothing. Dr. Hatur was taking them away.
Where did he take them?
I don't know. The doctor told me to go away. I didn't look back. He's always good to me. Always gives me food. Says I have to gain weight.
How's your fishing going?
Badly.
Wouldn't you need a fishing rod, net, or anything that could help you with that?
I'm not trying to catch them. I'm just calling them. I want to see them.
The lake seems lifeless to me. Are you sure this is the right place to fish?
I know it is. Mother Evelina told me.
So your mother told you to come to this very pier at night to try to catch some fish? She must be an exemplary parent.
She is good to me. She loves me. Look. She made this dress with bells just for me. Others don't have dress like this.
Others? Who are they?
My brothers.
Why would she give you a dress with bells?
I can call for help when others are mean to me. Evelina always comes.
Why do you let your brothers be mean? Fight for yourself.
I don't want to be mean towards strangers. Mother Evelina says it is impolite.
Your siblings can't be strangers to you. You live in the same house, eat the same food, maybe even sleep in the same room.
We live together, but they are still strangers. See, I think they know where their parents are. I don't.
Kid, are you all right?
No. I want to find my parents.
So, Evelina is not your mother?
She told me my mother and father are living here now. Somewhere inside Lake Harley. I'm trying to call them. I want to see them.
Joder, está todo una puta cabra, chicos, este pueblo. No se salva ni el apuntador.
Do you live in an orphanage, perhaps?
I live in a big house. Above our roof is a giant tower with giant bells. And we have a big courtyard. With a big wall and tall trees that prevent demons and evil spirits to visit us when they leave their underground beds.
You know, when I was your age, I lived in a house such as yours.
Evelina was your mother too?
No, my mother's name was Olga.
Was she as good as my mother?
She always protected me from my brothers and sisters.
You also had a dress like mine? With bells?
No, but I would have loved to have one. Do you have spare bait?
Why?
I need food for a pet. He is hiding, and I need to lure him out.
You want to see the king in yellow?
How did you know?
He's beautiful. That is why. Everyone wants to see the king in yellow.
What are you doing, kid? That must be painful.
Take it. This will definitely help you. He loves my skin.
¿Cacho de piel?
Mother Evelina says I can't feel pain. I use skin to cool my mother and father too. But they don't seem to love it. Only the king in yellow does.
Thank you, Anton. But don't do that anymore. It could be dangerous if it gets infected. Take care.
Tiene mucha pinta de no es muy humano este.
Bye.
Hala, vamos a darle el cacho de carne a... Uy, macho. Vaya de pelota, ¿no? ¿Qué aparece? Un perro, un gato, un gallifante. Anda, un menino.
Mr. Wilde has chosen you.
Where is he?
You called him, he answered. You can see him now.
This room is the same as before, except for this yellow cat that just showed up.
That is him. The king in yellow is Mr. Wilde. Mr. Wilde is the king in yellow.
Is this a joke?
Beware how you talk to the king. He's beyond your comprehension and knowing.
Mr. Wilde is a cat?
Mr. Wilde is the name of his earthly being. The body has an essence, a soul. That soul is the king in yellow. You can think of yourself as a lucky man. He loves to eat human skin. But I think he chose you because of the circumstances.
What circumstances?
Strange is the night when dark arises. On a strange night like this with a full moon. Stranger still is the lost man lost in Carcassa woods. Dr. Hathor sang today's circumstances in sorrow. But the king loves this song.
So what now?
Ask the king in yellow. I'm just his servant.
I have to talk to a cat. Is this man one of Hathor's patients on the loose? I would like your permission to go upstairs. I have to talk to Hathor.
The king says you are not allowed. You may, though, go to his room.
If I don't go upstairs, where can I find his room?
There is a passage leading to it. The king will not help you find it, but neither will he obstruct you.
What are you doing? What's going on?
I'm not allowed to see it. You're free to step inside. Though beware, it is a one-way pass. Once you get in, there is no coming back. You will have to find another way out.
Excuse me.
Entramos, ¿no?
Lucas said it's not possible to come back. Am I really ready to go in?
Es que no sé qué más podemos hacer.
I'm
Venga,
going in.
cojones.
What is this place? It's like I entered into a hellish nightmare. And there's no going back now. Antun Fero Istarski. How is this possible? I remember this painting from the orphanage. My mother, the only person who stood up for me. My father, he used to tell me I'm nothing but a sin, and called me God's degenerate. My brothers and sisters from the orphanage. Horrible souls deserve a horrible fate. I must be losing my mind. Mother, is that really you? Kelly Sue Drayton. Why am I seeing you?
It is time. I'm always with you.
The painting from the orphanage. How did it end up in this place?
You see what you want.
Lies. In the real painting, I was standing by your side, and there were no other children.
Your existence is changing. You have no family anymore, son. Follow me. I'll help you find your woman and child.
Mother?
I was waiting for you.
Demonic slave! Where is she? Where's my... No! Ah!
Bueno. ¿Estará por aquí la vecina? No. Oiga, que me he salido, ¿no? Ahí no podemos ir. Ah, esta es la vecina. Que está como una puta cabra.
The Catechism says, after an angel decides to sin, he falls from heaven and becomes a demon. Four letters divided by a cross. V, K, J, and P. Who keeps a dead tree? Hello? Madam Vera? My name is Benedek. I spent the night at your neighbor's. Could I ask you some questions? The woman that came with me is my sister. We can't find her today. Did you see if she left the house sometime after we arrived last night? Have you seen her today, perhaps?
No os de mucho hablar, ¿eh?
Who are you? My name is
Shit, te lo he
Benedek,
dicho, hostia.
and... Vera is old, not deaf. Who are you? Benedek, I'm a monk from Budapest. What do you want from me, monk? I'm trying to find my sister. Have you seen her? No, but I heard last night. After we arrived? Much later, in the night, with a man. What man? Nikolai? No, the one who came here earlier today stayed in the house. The warden? Dr. Hathor? Him, the man with the demonic voice. What did Hathor and my sister do? Went into the forest together, talked there for a while, then silence. Where in the forest? At the crossroad. Go straight into the forest. It's where the path leading from the town ends? Just go inside there. Once you find it, you will know. Did you hear what they talked about? No, sounded like whispering, praying, chanting. Can you describe Hathor?
Eso es que no.
What is it? My eyes were taken from me. God has his ways. I'm sorry. God has nothing on this. I deserved punishment. I deserve solitude. You still questioning my words. I am sure I didn't see him, but it is the same man that stayed in the house. The demonic voice. I'm having a hard time reading your chalkboard. Why can't you talk? Piece of chalkboard. School damaged object. A present from someone special to me. I asked if you could talk, madam. Tongue was torn out. I am eyeless and wordless.
Joder.
Terrible fate. I can't imagine the pain. Who made you blind and mute? No need to tell me. I just... The body of my sister. Your sister did this to you? A corpse now. She had to do it. It is my fault.
Me alegro, Daniel. Me alegro mucho. Pues nada, disfrútalos. Hay muy buenos indies. Y me alegro de que por lo menos a unos cuantos os sirva.
Your sister, family. What could you have done to deserve such a cruel punishment? I provoked. I need to suffer for my faith. It is all I have left. Don't ask again.
Sí, es un poco raro, repostera, la historia.
I heard about your visions. I still have them.
Porque te has perdido el principio.
Visions of Ivan Kotar? His birth, life, the horrors of Udav, death in church.
Que no es mucho más dulce.
Can you tell me a bit more? Visions are mine. Don't want to talk about. Excuse me. You are damaged. Missing soul you have. Excuse me? Cursed, like me, but a good man. Help me find the love of my life. He disappeared. I don't know this place. I don't know anyone here. Everyone knew my love. On a full moon night, he disappeared. Madam, I can't. As soon as I find my sister, I'm leaving and not coming back. Search for her at the same time. Look for him. You have to understand, it will take a miracle for me to find anyone in this valley. But tell me, what is his name? Yakov Prenger, town's former... A priest was your lover? He was to renounce his service, not faith. Dear God, I'll see what I can do. I have to go now.
Yakov Prenger, el antiguo sacerdote del pueblo diamante de Vera, desapareció una noche de luna llena. Pero el video lo encontrase. Debería preguntar por ahí si tengo la oportunidad. Joder, ahora vámonos pues. Go, go, go.
I should wait here for now.
¿Pero qué vamos a esperar aquí, tío? Me jodas. Tenemos que preguntar a la loca esta.
Never mind.
Pues aquí no se puede hacer nada, ¿no? Encima no podemos cambiar a otro personaje que lo han secuestrado.
We left it on the table.
That's a strange notion.
For some reason, someone decided to wrap the carpet.
¿Dónde tenemos que ir? Pues no nos dejan ir. Qué raro, tío.
Never mind. I don't need it.
Al bosque, pero no hay otra salida, ¿no? Aquí hay otra salida.
The path the old lady told me about. It's too dark and terrifying.
Vale.
All sorts of negative emotions are hitting me in this blackness, and I can't see a thing. I need light.
Como me deje coger ahora el farol, me cago en la leche.
Do you mind if I take this lamp?
That dust collecting thing is here because I inherited it with the house. Go ahead, but don't forget to return it. Sometimes it gets very dark in this valley. Without a lamp, I could get lost.
Darker than this?
Es que no lo entiendo, tío. ¿Por qué cojones lo deja
It
coger
appears
antes,
to
tío?
be empty. I need to find some oil to make it work.
Aceite para que funcione. Aquí había aceite antes.
I have no faith in the outcome.
Ah, sí, de...
I dare not to try this. Never mind.
¿Dónde podemos? ¿Dónde podemos? ¿Dónde podemos? ¿Dónde podemos? Arriba no había nada, ¿no? No. Pues sigues jugando al Animal Crossing sin super. Así podemos pasar. Tiene pinta de nada, hay que coger. Joder, macho. A ver si la bola del visillo tiene un poco de aceite o algo.
Do you happen to have any spare matches? You are afraid of darkness. Look into the angel's vase. Take what you find. I will. Thank you, Madame Vera. Excuse me. I can see a matchbox, which I'm taking, and a strange crucifix that looks more like a weapon of sorts. I believe it could kill a beast. As long as I'm trapped in this valley, I might need it. And since Vera wrote I could take whatever I find in here, I'm taking that too.
Vale, tenemos cerillas y un arma. Un crucifijo con una estaca. Bueno, cosas más raras hemos visto.
It's empty.
Ahora. Venga, vámonos.
I don't need more light here.
Joder, que lleva esperma.
It appears to be empty. I need to find some oil to make it work.
¿Dónde podemos coger aceite? ¿Del árbol? Del árbol cogemos aceite. Esto es gris, tío. Es que de la casa de la abuela... ¿Qué opináis? ¿Dónde cogemos aceite, tío? Me voy a preguntar, ¿la vista de aceite? Me cago en la leche. Normal que dure 2 horas, pues dura 200. No,
excuse me.
That's a strange notion. That's a strange...
The Catechism says, after an...
Pues estoy dentro de la casa, tío, pero no sé dónde. No caigo. Ahí lo nos deja ir. Habrá que abrir esta puerta de alguna forma. Machetazo.
If I didn't come here, thoughts like this would never cross my mind.
Joder, tengo el culo de los cojones.
If I didn't come here... If I didn't come here... I have some spare matches for the fireplace. Here, take a few.
Vale, a prender fuego y con eso vamos a coger el fuego. Vamos a coger aceite de ahí. ¿Qué cojo? ¿Aceite de los cuervos?
For the crows. Oh, thank you. You know, you've been good to me. I would still be going crazy if you didn't calm me down about the warden. I want you to have something of mine.
A dar 1 litro de aceite de oliva. Puro. Lo he sacado de...
What is this?
It was given to me by the prophet. It'll help you to get through the darkest of times.
It's a hideous small skull. How could it help me?
I don't believe in unearthly phenomena, but the prophet says this whistle can ward off any demon in your vicinity. When blown, it produces a frightening scream. But remember, use it wisely and don't show it to anyone else.
All right. I'll keep that in mind. Thank you. Whose skull was used to create it? Perhaps a squirrel's or a rat's? It's so small. I don't like it. But I'll keep it. Maybe it could help me in ways I can't imagine right now. I think that's not possible. The blasphemous basic.
Ah, prender fuego a la chimenea, coño.
Never mind.
Ya prendo yo.
I should contemplate more about this decision.
Joder. Pues no te crees que lo tengo claro,
A giant bowl made out of clay, filled with what seems to be
Anda, mira,
some type
jódete.
of oil.
¿Qué tal puto aceite? Ahora.
This should be enough.
No me acuerdo, tío, que había hecho. Que había aceite ahí. Pues si no ha prendido fuego a la chimenea. La madre que la parió. Hola. Mierda, ¿qué ha dicho? Ahí está.
Two different kinds of footprints here. Fresh footprints.
Después son las mías.
No way I can be sure one of them belongs to Victoria, but this proves Vera was right. She wasn't imagining the whispers from the woods. I wonder, how could my sister possibly know the warden? Where did they meet? He was looking for her last night before the incident, and then they talked afterwards here. Why? Something must have happened to her in the last few years. Both of our parents perished, and now our bloodline is cursed. It's not a fairy tale. It's our reality. I have to go to the lodge. Tell Nikolai I was right. He can do whatever he wants after that. I did my part. I'm leaving. No one can judge me or condemn me after... Huh? No! No! Get off! Get off! Get off! No! I have to get out of here immediately!
¿Pensamos que sin luz o qué? Sí.
With a bit of God's help and quick feet, I may be able to get to the lodge, then straight to the station before the last train leaves. My back. It hurts so bad. I haven't walked so quickly since I was a first grader.
Tenemos que hablar con el crío para que se arranque otro cacho de piel, para poder hablar con el puto gato. Mira, parece que no.
All alone here? Where's everyone else? Where's your owner?
Come over here, through the passage.
Cambió un poco, ¿no? Esa habitación.
It looks shockingly similar to the cat in the lobby. It has a menacing stance, as if safeguarding its master. A man proudly seated in his king-sized chair, surrounded by cats. Could be someone important. A congress of felines. Some people worship them and think they are superior animals.
The king says you are here to see that friend of yours.
I'm trying to find Nikolai, not a friend.
I don't know the man's name, but since we don't get many visitors, that must be him. If you find him, tell him he owes me a pack of matches. I had to light a lot of candles because of him.
Why? What happened?
When he got in here, all the lights in the lodge went out. I've never felt a stronger, more bone-chilling draft in my life.
What caused the draft?
I don't know. Something from the tower, I suppose. The king does not want to tell me. He's playing awfully coy about it.
Nikolai didn't cause the draft, then?
Yes, he did. This hallway leads to Mr. Goldin's room, where a friend was headed. He caused the draft.
Where did he go afterwards?
Certainly not back through the lobby, as the door was closed. He could only have gone in one direction, into the tower. And from there, who knows? This building is full of secret passageways.
Could you go upstairs and check for him? I can wait in the lobby.
That's al revés. Me parece a
I've
mí.
never been in this part of the lodge before. Never in the tower, and never in the warden's room. No way. He's your friend. You should go.
I already told you he's not my friend.
Whatever. You have no choice. The king is telling me you have to go in there. At one condition, though. I won't see him anymore, so you have to pay for his debt.
What would that be?
I will give you a clue. What do I need to repel darkness in the lodge?
You need to stop believing in that king of yours. Turn to God instead.
I need something that makes fire, that's all. Pay for the
Cerillas.
debt, and I will let you go upstairs.
Here, Nikolai's debt.
You may go into the tower now.
Hala, venga, vamos a ver qué pasa.
Where are you going?
Now that I have this matchbox, I have work to do.
Couldn't you at least wait here?
Sorry, sir. I wasn't supposed to even see the hallway. I'm sure that god of yours will help you get out of there.
Wait! I could have just left this town. Sometimes I don't understand myself. This room appears empty, but the candles are still lit. Not sure why I would need one.
Luego me pides uno, cabrón. 3 horas después. Tienes que volver.
The book's title is An Inhabitant of Sabor. A couple of books regarding the human mind, and a quill that was used on a piece of paper to draw. Wooden twigs tied with tiny threads, or plant roots. 3 triangles tied in the middle, with another twig. This is beyond my interest of knowing. It must be witchcraft, or
Tú estás en la puerta de los cuervos, ¿no?
the devil. 7 symbols, all very different from one another. The round one could be an iteration of the accursed evil eye. I could be wrong, but there seems to be something reflective at the end of the hole. I'd need something long enough to reach it. It's not going to work.
No voy a decir nada. Ese agujero negro que puede aparecer por ahí.
A dense fog rises above the lake, creeping inland.
Coge el bastón para meterlo por ahí, verás tú. ¿Ves? La madre que lo parió. Si es que...
Using one of these might help me to reach the end of that hole.
¿Por qué no lo cogemos antes, tío? Es que no lo entiendo, tío, de verdad. Lo coges y ya está. Que diga, esto me puede usar, me puede servir para algo.
The warden's secret passage. It could be a trap, but I have no other choice.
Ya baja.
It was a harrowing walk. There was no light. Every step I made was a danger. The child at the end of the pier surely must have seen Nikolai and the warden come out of here. I should ask. Hi, little one. Can I ask you some questions?
I'm not little one. I'm Anton.
Anton, have you seen anyone coming out of that tunnel?
I saw you.
That is good, but anyone before me?
2 men. One had the eyes of a dead man.
Eyes of a dead man. Was he dead?
He was breathing. The warden dragged him.
Where did they go?
They drove away with the boat. Disappeared into the fog.
No, no está larga.
Isn't it dangerous to be out at this hour of night?
Day, night, it's all the same to me. The only thing that matters is to finally find my mother and father.
Where are they?
In the lake. Hiding from me.
Who told you that?
Evelina.
And now you are here fishing for your parents?
Yes, but they don't love my skin. Or maybe they can't smell it in the water of the lake. I don't know.
Pero con un gusano, joder.
Do you come here often?
Fishing. Yes.
So you know the warden?
Of course. He is always good to me. Always gives me food. Says I have to gain weight.
You think he took the other man to the asylum?
No. He uses the boat only when meeting with the moon ghouls. They always go to the same place. It's on the other side of the lake.
How do you know about that place?
My mother Evelina told me all about it. Nothing else is in that direction.
What did she say about the place?
Klek. That is the name. When night falls, witches gather on that hill. They sing and dance in front of 3 white fingers. Mother says they once belonged to an evil giant.
Who belonged? The fingers or the witches?
Fingers! Witches come to Klek to call the demons from the mountain. They make and eat babies together.
What kind of woman tells stories like this to a child? You saw the moon ghouls?
More than once.
And they did nothing to you?
They could not. Dr. Hatur was taking them away with the boat.
Are they man or beast?
Both. Their whole body is yellow. They don't have faces. Their faces are shadows.
I have to go now.
What are you going to do?
Who could help me get to Klek?
You need a boat. You can't walk there. It is too far away. And you can't swim. Hali is home to my mother and father. They would be angry if you did.
So, where can I find a boat?
On my way here, I always pass by the old man. He has a boat. Arsen is his name. Just walk into the woods left of the lodge. His house is on a small island.
Take care, little one.
Take care, little priest. And if you see my mother and father, please tell them I'm waiting here.
Anton dijo que llevar a Nikolai a un sitio al otro lado del lago Hali, a un lugar llamado Klen, en el que las brujas se reúnen delante de 3 dedos blancos para cantar y bailar. No hay manera de llegar allí a nado o caminando entre una barca. Y Arsen tiene una. Venga, vamos para allá. Muy rara, ¿no? Toda la historia, tío. Ha dicho de aquí, de la posada, ¿no?
Those shrubs look poisonous. I'm staying away from it. Those shrubs.
Pues no, por ahí no es.
Which path should I take?
Vamos a perder seguro. Oye, tenemos un barco. Hasta tenemos una barca de puta madre. ¿Esto qué es un puesto de Laos? No, una calavera, tú.
This drawing reminds me of an ichthys, a secret symbol of early Christians. Arsen?
Who is it?
It's Benedict, sir. Sorry to disturb you, but I've been told you could help me.
Who told you that?
A boy named Anton?
What do you want?
Ya pintica esto.
I need to get to the other side of the lake. It's important.
You can walk or swim.
How long would it take me to get to Klek on foot?
Klek? Probably a day.
The lake doesn't look inviting to dip in, and it's cold.
Didn't you just say it's important? If it is, you can do it. Why would you want to visit that damned locality?
A man I'm trying to find could be there.
You strangers. Why even come to this town?
It wasn't my choice.
Either way, you are a captive now. We are all captives of this place. Imprisoned souls waiting for our savior.
Sir, with all due respect, this town needs a legion of exorcists to be saved.
It needs just one soul with pure faith. One man, one soul to free us all.
Is that boat over there yours?
What are you, Benedict?
What do you mean?
I don't know you. You don't live here. Who are you?
I am Benedict Dohnani.
El alma que buscas.
You are a priest.
A monk from Budapest.
Good. We shall continue this conversation then.
Joder. Dame la conversación, tú.
About the boat.
You can't have it.
Oh, I didn't mean... I've never used one. I thought that maybe you could go with me.
No. The boat is occupied and no one can use it. And even if it wasn't, I am too old and too weak to board it.
Occupied by what?
You have my permission to uncover the top.
Why don't you just tell me?
It's better if you see it with your own eyes.
Do you know anyone else who could lend me a boat?
No one goes to the lake. There are no other boats.
That's a lie. What about the boat at the lodge?
You don't want to find yourself on that one. It belongs to the asylum. I'm the only one with a boat. No other inhabitant has one. Why would they? There's nothing here, and it's dangerous.
What places do you recommend I visit while in town?
You don't get to explore this place. If it doesn't devour you first, then only by the grace of God did you escape its swallow. We are surrounded by carcassa in every direction. The Udav mountain above us, and the Henna River and Lake Holly lay dead below. No animals live in this valley, except for the damned crows. Nothing grows or breathes inside these waters. We see death everywhere.
People still live here. It amazes me.
This is a valley of righteous men and women. We may be scared, with one foot in our graves, but we never lose faith, and we never succumb to darkness. A day will come when the light will win.
What did last night's effigy symbolize?
You were there?
Unfortunately.
I never do. I don't like crowded places, but I could see the fire from here, and it was beautiful. We torch it every year on the day of our patron saint, Ivan Kotar. The giant symbolizes a member of the Saboran tribe.
Yesterday was October 28th. What happened on that day?
The day Ivan Kotar was murdered.
Murdered?
Yes, we celebrate, nay, glorify the final moment of Kotar's long sacrifice for our ancestors, and thus, for us.
Who murdered him?
Decapitated by Vatican emissaries.
For what reason?
Accused of allying himself with the darkness from the mountain. It was such a horrible decision. Poor man gave his life for this town and its inhabitants, only to end up locked in his room and ultimately slain like an animal.
The more I hear about this town and its mysteries, I just can't believe
Nelson, buenas noches. Una aventura gráfica un poco rara y oscura.
What do you know about the moon ghouls?
Un pueblo maldito y se está liando un poco la cosa.
On the mountain and in the mala.
Mala? What is that?
It's what you strangers call fog. Hell, even some Qatarians call it that because they don't know or don't want to accept the truth.
The moon ghouls are in the fog?
Mala is not what it seems to be. It is not fog. You feel any humidity? Have you noticed the ground?
It is completely dry.
Because Mala is not a mass of water particles.
What is Mala then?
The remains of dead Saborans, or as many prefer to call them, moon ghouls. They think if they don't pronounce the tribe's true name that they will be safe, which is nothing but a fantasy.
Madre mía.
Like I said and thought 100 times before, this place is doomed.
We just need one man, a savior. Someone like our Ivan Kotar from the past.
Have you seen a female stranger lately?
No.
No? Without even giving it a thought first?
No one visits me except Ida, the souvenir shopkeeper. I am sure I saw no female strangers in years.
What do you do here?
Trying to stay alive for as long as possible.
I mean, what do you do for a living?
I sell fish.
That old camper across the bridge is yours?
Yes, it was home to my parents before they settled in Kotar. They were...
wanderers?
I wanted to say fools. I loved them, but for God's sake, why choose this town to start a family?
We don't get to pick our parents, and yet whatever they do, we never stop loving them.
Maybe it's not love. Maybe we are cursed the moment we are born.
You fish in the lake?
I never did. The waters are dead. Nothing grows or lives in them. Fish are sent to me every once in a while from other regions in Croatia. I have friends, mostly in Istria.
Did you know Jakov Prenger?
He was our priest and a good friend of mine.
I heard he disappeared.
On a full moon night, like many others in the past.
And that's it? No one knows what happened to him?
I'm afraid all we can do is pray for his soul.
Excuse me.
Joder, ¿y ahora qué? ¿Nos hemos quedado sin barca?
Oh my God.
Sí que está ocupada, pues. No hay hueco, ¿no? ¿No hacéis un... ahí, apretado ahí?
2 bodies. 2 children. Long dead. Why the priest's robe and nun's habit? 2 bodies. Why the... I've never seen a wood so dark in color as this one. It's almost like coal.
Bueno, ahora estoy pensando en dejarlo, ¿eh? Mañana seguiremos. Tengo curiosidad de ver qué pasa. Si encontramos a la hermana, encontramos al cuñado, encontramos al sacerdote.
You keep the corpses of 2 children in your boat?
My father and mother were small people. Midgets, as some would say.
What are they doing in there?
Laying peacefully in their temporary grave.
A temporary grave?
They were recently exhumed, and I had to take care of them.
I don't understand. Who exhumed them?
Henry, the priest of Kotar. He banished me from the church, and so my parents had to move out from the town's graveyard. Soil outside the church walls is tainted. The boat was the safest place.
They were clergy?
No. I dressed them as such to protect their bodies. The moon ghouls eat flesh, and they don't care if it's warm or cold.
Why the massive cross on top?
To protect them from the moon ghouls. Faith is the only thing that wards them off, but not for long.
Was it torched? The wood is very dark.
I made it from the trees that grow behind my house. I would never torch a cross.
What sin have you committed to have been banished?
Son, we are all original sinners, waiting for redemption.
We are, but you did something to deserve it.
God knows that is not the truth. Listen, talk to Henry. Reason with him. He must unban me.
Why would I do that?
Because you need the boat. If Henry accepts, I could move my parents back into their grave and the boat would be free again.
It's an opportunity to fulfill Father Imre's wish as well. I'll see what I can do.
He's not an easy man to talk to, but maybe he'll be more reasonable with you, monk.
Where can I find his church?
The Church of Ivan Kotar. Go back through the square, find the police station,
Then follow the alley to your right. Just be sure not to stray into Kuga. Wicked, evil people wander the former school district. They have no soul and have lost all faith.
You have no intention of telling me what you did?
I don't know. One day, he just said we are not welcome anymore. You have to ask him.
Excuse me.
O sea, nos vamos de aquí, pues. Consigue que admitan a Arsen para que te dé la barca. Callejón a la derecha de la comisaría de policía. No sé dónde está la comisaría de policía, pero bueno.
Which path?
Ah, cojonudo. Vale, al lado, vamos aquí. ¿Cómo vamos a...? A ver. Esto que ir aquí.
Which path should I...
Llegaremos. Sí, ya hemos llegado, vale. No sé cuál es la comisaría, la verdad. Aquí antes no me ha dejado ir, con lo cual espero que sea por aquí. Aquí no parece que se pueda ir.
A mailbox? Not sure. It looks strange. Its ropes bear some resemblance to hangman's nooses. Makes sense for a town like this.
A la derecha será este, ¿no?
Ivan Kotar. Ivan Kotar, born in 1159, died in 1218. It's locked. There's a time and place to talk to him. This is not one of them.
Guillermo, ¿qué tal? Buenas noches.
It's an embalmed priest, decapitated. His head is laying on a golden plate.
The Vatican declared him a traitor, an ally of the evil forces. Can you imagine that?
Strange. The sculpture of Jesus is not nailed to the cross, as it should be, but rather just tied up. Father Henry?
Henry Eastertor, and you are?
Benedict.
A fellow man of the cloth, certainly.
What gave me away?
Your aura, and of course, the tiny crosses on your sleeves. You were saying your name?
Benedict Dochnani.
Ah, victorious brother. We finally meet. What can I do for your brother Benedict?
You met my sister?
Did I meet her? Who knows? Do I know of her? Yes, as every person, crow, and rat in this town.
Una aventura, pueden dar clic. Aventura gráfica.
I have infinite power and am highly respected. When word spreads, it reaches my ears first.
I have a theory of what happened here, but I'd like to know more so that I can solidify it. You know much. Maybe you can help me.
I'm here for you, brother.
Hostia, hay demasiadas respuestas. Lo vamos a dejar aquí, ¿eh? Super tarde, son las 3:15. Hay un montón de respuestas. Gente, aquí lo tenéis. Este es el juego, ¿vale? Salió el 28 de octubre, la fecha en la que prendieron fuego también, por lo que se ve, a la esfinge esa. Y bueno, una aventura gráfica curiosa, dentro de lo que cabe. Tenemos que buscar a nuestra hermana, tenemos que buscar al cuñado, 25 euros, y el pueblo está hecho tanto más para allá que para acá. Pero bueno, pues lo dejamos aquí, que son las 3:15, y mañana seguiremos. Yo, bueno, tengo curiosidad por la historia, la verdad que me está gustando, ¿no? Como aventura gráfica es un poco lineal, pero bueno, tengo curiosidad por la historia, a ver qué pasa. Así que nada, mañana más y mejor. Mañana seguiremos con este juego a la noche, y durante el día pues no sé si entraré con algo, y si no, pues los fines de semana son un poco menos activos a nivel videojueguil. Gracias como siempre por estar ahí, un placer. Un servidor se va a la piltra. Adiós. ¿Algo que os puedo dejar?